Ricans love their coffee, and they're not alone. Over 2 billion cups of coffee are consumed in the world every day. But if you only know coffee as a morning beverage, honey, you got a lot to learn. Coffee can be so much more, like an interactive experience for the senses.
That was completely over the top, in a good way.
Its very own art form.
The staining of coffee and the way it acts on canvas or on paper, it totally works.
And it's even become a worldwide sport.
The World Coffee Olympics.
We're brewing up all things coffee, coming up on Food of Home. My earliest memories of coffee start with my dad brewing up a fresh pot of Puerto Rican coffee. Now, I can't speak for most Puerto Ricans, but in my house, we didn't drink coffee. We ate it. I used to fill up my fresh cup of coffee with Ritz crackers, and I used to let the crackers soak up all the goodness. Listen, don't knock it till you try it. Every culture has a unique approach to coffee. So I reached out to coffee expert Dylan Edwards to learn more about coffee traditions around the world. Hey Dylan, how are you?
Good, thank you, Jessica. How are you?
Great. Can you take us back to the beginning of coffee? How does the process even start?
The cup that you drank this morning, it started with a tree. Coffee is actually a fruit.
How big is this fruit?
The average is going to be like the size of a small cherry. Coffee is generally grown in the tropics across Southeast Asia, East Africa, West Africa, Latin America, sections all the way from Mexico down to Brazil. The origin of coffee Arabica is actually Ethiopia. Ethiopia has one of the oldest coffee drinking cultures in the world. They actually have a whole ceremony for making a cup of coffee. It takes like 30, 40 minutes. The coffee is actually roasted in a pan over a fire, pulverized, put in that jebana, filled with water, and boiled over a fire. And it makes a coffee that's very similar to Turkish coffee, very heavy, very rich. And we all know and love the Italian influence on coffee, which brought us espresso. The coffee bars in Rome are some of the most famous in the world, and the idea of espresso has evolved immensely. Today you can get an espresso, but it's a completely different experience than the one you would have in an Italian coffee bar.
It's just interesting to see how a coffee bean can just travel the world in different ways and be consumed in different ways.
One thing that people may not realize is that when coffee first made its way into Europe, it was not well received. The powers that be, if you will, were debating whether or not it was to be embraced or not. It's just funny to think about how, 600 years ago, there was some contention about whether or not coffee was a bad beverage.
Safe to say coffee became a global phenomenon.
It is one of the most widely traded and widely consumed beverages out there.
Coffee is more than just a drink. It has become an experience. So we're heading to my neck of the woods, NYC, where this cafe combines our morning cup with our favorite camping treat.
The Hickory S'mores Latte is the glamping trip that New Yorkers didn't get to take this summer.
We're at Felix Roasting Company. It's an amazing new cafe that's just opened in Midtown Manhattan.
We wanted to really immerse the customer in an experience, not just serve them a drink and let it go from there. So we actually prepare the Hickory S'mores Latte right in front of the guest. So we have a hickory-infused salted caramel marshmallow we make in-house, and 70% dark chocolate, and a shot of espresso, and a graham cracker steeped milk, and we actually smoke the entire thing under a bell jar. So you get the campfire, you get the graham cracker, you get the marshmallow, and you get the chocolate. So it's the full s'mores experience. I think more so than any other city, New Yorkers really appreciate this, and they instantly just get pulled away from where they're at and into like their childhood or a trip they've been on. It's totally like nostalgic for almost everyone we've served it to.
That was completely over the top, in a good way.
I love the way that the layering of the different flavors. Because you had s'mores deconstructed with the marshmallow, the chocolate, the smoke. It was a great overall experience.
It's pretty interesting to see the new levels coffee has brewed to. But if you thought that was creative, check out this new artist and his new form of art.
People don't know what it's made out of sometimes, and they have to look close, and they always question, like, is this oils? Is this watercolors? And when I take coffee, they like freak out. They're like, what? My name is Gerald Cadion, and I'm a coffee portrait artist. I always love the smell of coffee. I used to live in New York. I worked at a job where I was like pushing papers. One day I was running late with a coffee cup in my hand. I saw that there's coffee that spilled onto the coffee cup, and it made some weird stains on it. So it looked pretty interesting. So from there, it's like, maybe I could do something with it. When you get like whole coffee beans, you like grind it coarsely, and then you stick it in like a mason jar with a cup or two of vodka. Let it sit for like a month. If you want to really make it thick, you would like cook it in a saucepan. The staining of coffee and the way it acts on canvas or on paper, it does a blooming effect that you're not expecting, that might ruin your painting or might ruin that part that you're trying to fix, but it sort of might be a happy accident where it totally works. It's sort of if you marry like fine art with graffiti art. So raw, it's so like messy, but it's like gorgeous. It's the music and the movies that I love. Bob Marley, I love Bob Marley. I love Mac Miller, Frida Kahlo. I want to honor these people. I want like people to carry on that memory of those people that inspired them.
You travel light.
Yeah, well, it's all I need. It's like you just need the coffee concentrate or the extract and water. And then you just bring your brushes and you're pretty much set. For like to use the toothbrush method, you just flick it onto there.
You have a lot of faith in me. Yeah. I don't want to mess it up. Oh wow, you can really control it. Like,
yeah.
Fine.
Once I started really pushing and getting feedback, not just from people, but from like different artists, like approval from other artists is really nice. It gives you a baseline of like, you're doing something right. Gaining the spotlight because of my art is so fulfilling.
Coming up on Foodaholic.
It's getting down to the wire over here on the Brewers Cup stage.
There's nothing light or sweet about this competition. Stick around, we'll be right back. So who really has the best cup of coffee? That's always up for debate. But these baristas play no games as they show off their techniques at the U.S. Coffee Championship. Yeah, I said it. It's the Coffee Olympics. Are you really surprised?
It's getting down to the wire over here on the Brewers Cup stage. We are in our 5th finalist of the day.
I am so intrigued by the thought of coffee being a sport. Where did it begin?
The World Barista Championship, which is what competitive baristas really look to attain to, has been around since the year 2000. Each nation sends a representative to the World Barista Championships through their national competitions that take place every year. And each barista essentially goes through a whole competition circuit for that year. They compete in local events, regional events, national events to hopefully get that title for their nation's barista champion to then move on to the World Barista Championships.
This is literally like the Olympics.
Absolutely.
I am grateful for the privilege to be here today, serving you some of the world's most beautiful coffees.
Is there just one U.S. championship or is there a few?
There's one barista championship, but there's several barista competitions that are all about tasting and brewing and serving delicious coffees. We have U.S. Cup Tasters Championship, which involves baristas or coffee professionals tasting 3 coffees in one set and identifying which 2 coffees are the same and which coffee is different in that set. The rounds get progressively harder and harder.
That gives me such a good idea. I think I'm going to try this out with my friends at home. So how long does this competition last?
They have 15 minutes to essentially make 4 milk-based beverages, 4 espressos, and then 4 signature beverages. And this is in the final rounds of the competition.
The barista is talking throughout that. Why is that?
Think of the U.S. coffee competitions like your master's, your doctorate in coffee. They want to tell that story and they want to deliver it with enthusiasm, with passion, with a high level of service that really conveys how special that coffee is to the judges.
It's almost like a reverse bartender.
Absolutely. Sometimes working in cafes or coffee shops, they don't often get that opportunity. Yes, it's all captured in 15 minutes, but when you're able to see all of that passion, enthusiasm, and commitment come out to the judges in that circumstance, but translating into a consumer experience or translating into when you are in your coffee shop, you really start to have a much different connection with coffee.
Well, thank you so much. This has just blown my mind, and now I just want to practice at home just for fun.
Absolutely. Coffee's for everybody.
I believe it. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Sometimes even coffee needs a little bit of kick in the morning. One that a barista can't give, but this bartender can.
I'm Paul Nolan. I've been working at the Buena Vista Cafe for 43 years. I've made 5 million Irish coffees. Would you like to try one?
If you go to San Francisco, you got to have an Irish coffee at the Buena Vista.
It's world famous for the Irish coffee.
It has all the basic food groups, right? It has your dairy, alcohol.
It gives you coffee, it gives you sugar, it gives you whiskey, and it gives you cream.
I'm a big coffee person. He's not so much, but
I'm here for the booze.
He's here for the booze.
We make 2,000 to 3,000 Irish coffees a day. Making a drink is sort of a performance in itself because it's the way it works. You're pouring the drinks out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make like 10 Irish coffees. First, putting hot water in glasses, heating it up. So now I'm going to empty it out. Then I put 2 cubes of sugar in each glass. Now I put the hot coffee in, about 3/4 of the way full, and I'll even them out and then stir up the sugar. Here we go. And the whiskey. Finish it off a little extra. And now I get the cream whipped up. Nice layer right on top, floats beautifully. There we go. Well, 1952, the drink was reinvented from an original recipe from Foynes, Ireland. And the Irish coffee became really uniquely San Francisco.
It's the ultimate cold day beverage, but on a warm day, it works just as well.
During my days of working on the cable cars when I discovered the place. When the cable car would leave Market Street, they'll say, is this the one that goes to the Irish coffee place? Yeah, it ends right at the Buena Vista Cafe.
Next up, we put my besties to the ultimate coffee taste test.
It's like...
And just like the US Coffee Championship, I am hosting my own coffee championship right here in my house with my besties, Chris Casey, a Localish producer,
Really more of a colleague.
and Brianne. Hi. And we are going to test their knowledge on coffee.
Coffee. I thought we were gonna say.
We can do it together.
Okay.
Coffee! We're gonna have 3 different cups of coffee from 3 different cultures: Italian, Turkish, and Colombian. And you're going to guess which cup of coffee belongs to that culture. Do not say your answers until the very end. So we're going to start with cup number 1.
It's sweet.
I feel like the sugar and cream part of it is really throwing me off. Like, I can't really taste past that.
I don't know if I can taste past it because I can't. I feel like my tongue doesn't work.
Your palate is not
Palate.
as
That's the word I was
sensitive.
looking for. Thank you, palate.
All right, let's move on to cup number 2.
Oh my god. I'm scared of this one.
This is like sludgy.
I don't.
I'm afraid that I'm going to poop my full pants if I drink this. This is like...
Taste it.
Okay. No. I don't enjoy that.
This is, it's definitely bitter. It's definitely like thick. I kind of like it though.
What?
It's like, cause it's like,
It's like so not good.
it makes you feel alive though.
Okay, so cup number 3.
Oh, I'm like shaking now. Now I'm like nervous.
Ooh, this smells good.
What? It smells like peppers.
It does smell like peppers.
Like salsa, like sausage and peppers.
So which one do you guys think is the Italian?
Italians do like espresso, and I feel like this one is more espresso.
Which one do you guys think is the Colombian one?
I have no frame of reference whatsoever, and it just gave me a vibe.
Okay. And for your third, you guys think that this is Turkish?
Yes.
Turkish.
Why is it Turkish?
I know this is Turkish because there's coffee grounds all up in the bottom of it, and that's what Turkish coffee is like.
So cup number 1 is Colombian coffee. So congratulations, Chris. Sorry, Brienne.
It's okay. I know my strengths.
Cup number 2 is an espresso. They only really do espressos in Italy. And cup number 3 is Turkish. You are the champion of coffee! Do you know what goes good with coffee? Cake. This bakery puts the crunch in coffee.
We have the original recipe. It's the only place that has it still. It's a family secret. I can't share that, obviously, but you know, we have the little secret ingredient. Nice fluffy cake layers, whipped cream and coffee crunch candy in the middle. You bite in, you get that spongy feeling of the cake, and then you get that crunch of the candy, nice coffee flavor, and that kind of melts in your mouth a little bit. Comes out of the oven, let it cool down, stack them up nice and high, put it on the turntable, go around with the whipped cream, and definitely the highlight of the cake is the candy. Nice big piece, and you just smash it to bits with a rolling pin. Makes a lot of noise, actually. After that, we put the candy on, it's ready to go. You can get some imitators, but if you want the real thing, you gotta come here. It sells out real quick. One day, we put out 6 dozen slices. They were gone at about 11:30, and we open at 10. There used to be a restaurant up in the city here called Blum's. Blum's shut down quite a while ago, probably before I was born, actually.
I was born in 1963 in San Francisco. My mom used to take me to Blum's, especially during the holiday season. This was my favorite cake when I was a little kid.
My grandfather worked with a guy that worked at Blum's, and he had the recipe. And then they split off, and Grandpa came over here and started up this bakery. We brought the recipe over here. We've been here 47 years now. A lot of people have tried to recreate the cake itself and come close, but not quite.
Tried to make it, total failure. And then I found this wonderful sweet shop. That's the only place I know that still makes it the exact way I remember it.
We actually had the daughter of the original Blum's cake maker come in and say, oh wow, this tastes just like it. 3 people know the recipe. It's me, my grandfather, and my uncle who used to work here a long time ago.
So we came all the way from Florida. I did a little bit of research and then I stumbled on the shop. So here we are. All sweet stuff appeals to me, but this one was famous, so I have to try it.
So I've been coming here, especially since the pandemic. We're all eating more than we should, and this is happiness and my youth. My mom cannot leave the house these days. This is her way to feel like she's out in the world.
The look on people's faces, that smile, the satisfaction to know that you put that there. It makes me feel good just to know that we're helping people get through all the tough times and just having a nice little bright spot in their day, and being that bright spot is really exciting.
Coming up next, I get schooled on how to make the best cup in town. Ooh, I'm nervous. If there's one thing I've learned, is that coffee is one serious business. So I went to Public Records to get a one-on-one lesson from a talented barista on how to make the best cup of coffee. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Jessica.
I'm so excited to be here at Public Records, and I am thrilled that you're giving me this one-on-one lesson.
You want to learn a little bit about espresso?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. We're going to start with this guy right here.
Ooh, I'm nervous.
This is called the portafilter. This has a little basket in it where the espresso bed is going to lie. Espresso is the fastest method of brewing coffee. Espresso in Italian means pressed out. We're going to tear our scale. You're just going to insert, and we're going to grind some beans. You're gonna take it out, you're gonna wanna tap the back of it. We're just going to distribute it, and then we're going to weigh it. Awesome.
18.9.
So we need a little more, right?
Okay. There we go. 20.5.
Now, this is when we compress the coffee into our puck. You want your hand to be at a 90-degree angle. Bring your elbow all the way up. All the way up.
Even more?
Even more. So have it like right, like your elbow is right over your wrist. And now you're just gonna lay it gently on the espresso. And do you see how you're like tilted a little bit?
Yeah,
right here?
I definitely see that.
Fix that before you press down all the way. Now just put all your body weight on it.
Woo, this is what I work out for.
Now you're good. Let's lift it. Look at that. You just want to wipe the dust off the top.
We're going in here?
Yeah, we're gonna go in that.
So I'm going this way?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. We're gonna grab our shot glass. We're gonna tear it. And now I want you to press that double shot button that says enter.
Thank you. Now on for my latte art lesson.
One of the most important things about latte art is timing. You want your espresso as fresh as possible at the same time as your milk is steamed. And then I like to pour the milk into my pouring vessel.
Is this your lucky vessel?
She's won me many a competition. What we're gonna do is we're going to drop in and integrate the espresso and the milk. Now when we're ready, we're gonna go in really, really close. We're just gonna pour out the heart. Now we're gonna lift and pull through.
Pray for me.
This way and up. Beautiful. Keep going. Oh, untilt. Okay, great. Now we're gonna go here. Untilt, untilt, untilt.
Ah, not too bad, I might say, but I can't take all the credit for this. Thank you.
Anytime.
And to our next cup. My mornings will never be the same. I'm Jessica Lugo, and thank you for following me on my coffee journey. And for more great food stories, keep watching us on Localish.